Welcome to our introductory guide to the do's and don'ts and some tips on what you need to know about the DMAIC process. Understanding the power of Six Sigma can transform your operations. This guide will reveal to you what separates success from costly failure in all initiatives of improving processes. DMAIC stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, and Control, which relates to first identifying the problem and establishing the project scope, and to also then gathering the relevant data on the current performance, which will be used as your baseline data. Once you have the data, you will start analyzing the data with various tools to help you determine the root causes of the problems. Once the root causes have been identified, you will then implement and validate the solutions to improve the process. Lastly, you have to sustain the improvements that you have made by putting relevant and applicable controls in place, by finalizing everything with a formalized control plan. One example of when the application of the DMAIC process was successfully implemented, a rubber manufacturing company was able to reduce its rejection rate by 68%, resulting in huge profits instead of a loss for the company. In another general manufacturing company, annual savings resulted in a $1.2 million annual saving. A massive 35% cycle time improvement in production workflows was realized in another. By correctly implementing it successfully, processes will become visibly different and generate enough savings to justify further investment, and you are almost always guaranteed positive results. Common pitfalls and some of the main reasons why the implementation of Six Sigma fails are usually when there is a leadership gap and a clear lack of senior management support. When wrong projects are selected, you will also force inappropriate problems into the DMAIC process. Never underutilize expert support by cutting short the involvement of Six Sigma specialists. You also have to avoid not connecting the improvements to the results, as you might end up missing financial links. What is critical to ensure successful implementation is to have active sponsorship from executives that openly shows leadership support. Always aim to select projects strategically by choosing problems that fit the DMAIC's process strengths. Ongoing monitoring and proper control mechanisms must be in place to ensure that performance is always tracked. Consider implementing team incentives with meaningful rewards and gain sharing, as it always serves as an improvement motivator. To be able to ensure success from the DMAIC process, please don't use it for simple projects. It will be overkill for something that can be fixed quickly or needs minor improvements. Never apply this process to unsuitable problems such as vendor selection, resolving personnel issues, or where one-time decisions are required. Choose to apply it to problems that are mainly process-focused. It is also critical to never rush or skip any of the phases, as each phase builds on the work that was previously done. Avoid taking shortcuts, as it will undermine the methodology's effectiveness and the impact of applying it. Don't ignore the measurable outcomes because, without clear financial or operational metrics, you will not be able to prove the value of Six Sigma or maintain any of the improvements. I would recommend, though, that you start your DMAIC projects with executive buy-in and ensure senior leadership management is engaged. Leadership must champion the selected initiative from day one. Always choose appropriate projects and select problems where rigorous process improvement makes sense. Look for where you can make a significant impact on the process. You have to involve qualified experts in the initiative, and where possible, have the black belts and master black belts guide the teams throughout the entire project. Make sure that you also measure the real results and document and celebrate any significant savings and improvements. Most important, make the value visible for all to see. So I will now conclude with your DMAIC action plan in mind. Choose very complex, process-based issues with significant improvement potential, therefore matching DMAIC to the right problems. Ensure that you have the appropriate scale and scope for such a project. Make sure you secure leadership support by gaining executive sponsorship before starting a project. Ensure that all required resources are willing, able, and available, and remove barriers throughout the project. Always focus on transformative results by targeting improvements that visibly change processes and by adding clear and measurable value to the organization. If you found value in the information I shared, please like and subscribe, and join me in the next video.